Okay, sweetie, I was feeding the neighbor's cat as promised. Benny boy. Ooh. Hey, bud. Um, and like it was all going pretty well, and then you give him the half scoop or the half can, and then a quarter of a scoop of the dry as well. But then they've got that recessed measuring thing that has like the bottom, and there's a little level, and that's the quarter, and then a little more is a half, etc. But I can never get that right. It's like, does it have to be exactly level on that, or like do we have some wiggle room there? Or like there was like, I'm gonna say like at least 8-9 pieces above the top of the quarter line. Is that, how strict are we being on this? I don't know. But then the other thing was like, after I did the half can of the wet, then I'm coming and I'm like, oh man, there's gotta be the plastic wrap, because the last time we did this, there was the fork that was laid out already, and then there was the plastic wrap. And here's the other thing: so like there was no fork laid out or plastic wrap, and so I'm like looking through, and I come along, and I'm like, so like there's only like one kind of like utensil, period. And so like they've got these ones that like looked pretty nice, like they look pretty nice, like in real life. But like there isn't one laid out, so I'm like, is that too good for cat food? Like, are they gonna get home and be like, throw that out, sterilize that for days, at least 3 days, they might say. So like I used one, and then I cleaned it, but then I put it in the sink, I think they call it. But then I'm looking for the plastic wrap, because I remember like there had been a piece before, but then I was the first one to open the can, which, as you recall, is because she left the key for the apartment and the pair of shoes that I then put on and walked to work in, and so there was a fucking key in there, and nobody had told me about it. So I'm walking around like fucking Sir Francis Scott Key over here. Anyway, so I'm like, there's no plastic wrap out because I'm the first one to open the can, which is great. Benny and I had a great time. He's like relaxing, as one does. And so I'm like coming along, and I don't like searching through someone's like stuff. I don't know. Are we allowed to do that now because this is happening? Anyway, so I'm looking through the obvious spots. Like there's various, like oop, that didn't work at all. I tried to do the old flipso thing so you can see what's in front of me, but it's not working so well. Anyway, so I finally found the drawer that has the plastic wrap and the parchment and etc. And so I grabbed the plastic wrap, but like and it's like, it's whatever. It's a no name, and like I've got the fucking no name one too. The no name, the god damn it, the parchment paper, the fucking aluminum, whatever things are called. The aluminium paper is top notch. So I mean, I can believe that this is a good product. But so I'm pulling it out, and I don't want to like use too much at once, because it feels weird. Like I want to conserve because it's someone else's, even though I'm like looking after the cat and it's for the cat's food. I'm still like, oh shit, I've used too much. Like, what have we done here? So I pull out what I thought was a reasonable amount, and like then it just like curls back in. Like this is what it looks like now, and it just starts like curling back. You pull it out, and it's almost like it's moving on its own. Obviously it isn't, but like not unlike like an alien type creature from one of the movies by that name. And so like this is literally, that was the length of it, and then this was fucking, I'm gonna say like 3 inches wide at least. I swear it gets bigger, but like honestly it's just I'm gonna say it's a bit of a joke, bit trash. Say this particular, I'm not feeling this particular plastic wrap, which is fine. But then so I go, I'm like, well, I'll see what my other options are. Maybe I can go for some of that aluminium paper, as you call it, or even like, nobody's using parchment paper, but I mean, like, I would have looked at it, I would have considered it at least. But anyway, so I'm looking, and like, yeah, they got the the various papers and stuff. But then I noticed that they had Ziplocs, and I was like, oh fuck, there was a fucking Ziploc the whole time. I should have just grabbed that the first and not fucked around with this plastic wrap that is like not good. I think we can all agree, even though you weren't there. Trust me. But so then they got the Ziploc, but it's this Ziploc perfect portions. So I'm like, okay, like, is there a separate set of instructions for this for those of us who've only used like the regular Ziploc, you know? And there should have been, because I struggled for nearly 8 seconds until I was finally able to, my Herculean strength was able to get it out. But I don't know what makes it like perfect portion. Like they show a picture of a hand touching meat, like, so that's great. But it just seemed like it was one size. It worked, but it's just a little, like, it's kind of like sarcastically big for the purpose that I used it. So, and it looks a little sad, but it's working though. I mean, you shouldn't have someone else's fridge open, by the way. This is a dick move, but like, works. We'll see. We'll see what you feel like tomorrow when you come and find all this shit, which is why I'm documenting it. And oh my god, are you kidding? Sir? Oh man, you're crushing it, bud. Yeah. Oh fuck. You look like a fucking wizard. You're a good kitty. Yeah. Oh my god, you're a fucking top-notch cat. Anyways, see you in the morning.